United States strikes back at terrorists while two businessmen were killed in Hanover. This is Undiluted News. Mikey Bones reporting. The United States and Britain launched military strikes against targets in Houthi-controlled Yemen, U.S. officials said last night. They targeted multiple locations with fighter jets and tomahawks fired from Navy ships. President Joe Biden said the strikes, which were supported by Australia, Bahrain, Canada, and the Netherlands, targeted areas used by Houthi rebels to endanger freedom of navigation in one of the world's most vital waterways. Biden also warned that he would not hesitate to direct further measures to protect our people and the free flow of international commerce as necessary. A Houthi leader confirmed that Yemen capital Sana'a had also been targeted and that they will strike back. The strike came after U.S. Central Command said earlier yesterday that the Iranian-backed Houthis had fired anti-ship ballistic missiles from Houthi-controlled areas in Yemen into international shipping lanes in the Gulf of Aden. The Houthis have been attacking ships for weeks and have been warned several times to stop, but they refuse. Now they will face the consequences. Rhode Island election officials found the names of several dead voters on nomination papers submitted on behalf of Republican presidential candidate Vivek Ramaswamy, local authorities told the Boston Globe yesterday. The state's Deputy Director of Elections, Miguel J. Nunez, wrote an email message to local boards this week saying that an unusually high number of signatures for Ramaswamy had been invalidated in Coventry County. Boards of canvassers in both Hopkinton and Province counties also reported a higher percentage of invalid signatures than usual on Ramaswamy's paperwork, including 6 dead voters on the paperwork in Providence, according to the Rhode Island Courant. In Jamaica, 7 persons charged with assaulting a 14-year-old girl in Clarendon on December 30 of 2023 were granted bail when they appeared in the Clarendon Parish Court yesterday. Pauline Hughes Simmet, 52, Fayan Millwood, 22, Amanda Anderson, 3 juvenile females aged 15, 16, and 17, and a 17-year-old boy are charged with illegal wounding and assault causing actual bodily harm. Amanda Anderson had also been charged with simple assault. Senior Parish Court Judge Dela Finley, who presided over the case, also included a gag order on the defendants prohibiting them from discussing the case in public. Judge Findley also barred the accused from using WhatsApp and any other social media sites. A family member of the 14-year-old has expressed displeasure, however, at the court's decision to grant bail for the accused. She said this is totally wrong because all the way, everybody feel the pain about those people beating up that 14-year-old girl. No, this is not right. The judge should have remanded them back into prison, she complained. Following news of the discovery of a burnt remains of an aircraft in St. Elizabeth last weekend, Junior Shadow Minister of National Security and Defense Giovanni Byfield is expressing concern about an alleged illegal landing strip in the parish. The Junior Shadow Minister expressed that the St. Elizabeth crash fits a developing pattern following a similar crash landing in Clarendon in 2021 and the seizure of US $25 million worth of cocaine at the Ian Fleming Airport in 2022. According to a release yesterday, the opposition member said these incidents suggest that the use of Jamaica as a transit point of destination for illegal drugs and other contraband continues apace. Where have this minister been all the while? This has been happening all over Jamaica from the 1970s to current time. Geez, planes used to be parked in big man backyard for years, and this is no joke. This has been going on a long time. The St. James Police said that they have seized 1 AK-47 rifle, 4 magazines, and over 120 assorted rounds of ammunition during an operation in Salt Spring in the parish on Thursday. Reports from the Montego Bay Police are that about 1:30 p.m., lawmen conducted an operation in the area during which time the firearm, 4 magazines, 86 5.56 rounds, and 46 7.62 rounds of ammunition were seen in an open lot. No one was arrested. Meanwhile, an ongoing gang battle resulted in the deadly shooting of a restaurant owner and a jerk vendor in Green Island, Hanover on Wednesday night. According to Hanover Police Division Inspector Nadine Brown, the men were attacked and shot at a shop along the Green Island Main Road at 10 p.m. The victims are Romaine Jones, also known as Juvenile, a 35-year-old business operator and proprietor of the Lobster Smokehouse restaurant, and Ellsworth Foster, also known as Bauer, 56-year-old jerk seller. Both are from Green Island, South Spring District. And the police are following leads, but they believe that this incident is a result of intra-gang conflict in the 100 Rounds gang. And in another shooting, 1 man is dead and another hospitalized after 2 shooting incidents which occurred hours apart on Gold Street in Kingston yesterday. Police are reporting that about 2 a.m. unknown assailants gained entry to a house on Gold Street through a back fence and opened gunfire, hitting the lone occupant who was laying on his bed. The man was rushed to hospital where he was pronounced dead, and the deceased has been identified as Roland Brown. And approximately 4 hours later, the police were called again to the same Gold Street address following reports of another shooting. When police arrived on the scene, another man was reportedly seen suffering from gunshot wounds, and he was taken to hospital where he is undergoing treatment. And you ask yourself, how could someone get killed at one place and 4 hours after another person gets shot at the same place by gunmen? That cannot be a safe place to live. On to sports, the Jamaica Football Federation is expected to choose a new president this Sunday, and it is going to be turmoil if this election is held. Furthermore, the two persons running for president are two non-productives who will never be able to move Jamaica football forward. The two running for presidents are the current president and the next one is his deputy. Both have dragged Jamaica football into the dirt, and selecting the deputy is not going to make any difference. Up to now, the Jamaica female squad, which have qualified for the World Cup, have not been paid, and the ambassador has got fed up and quit. The coach for the Reggae Girls contract was not even renewed, and there's lots of internal wrangling and chicanery going on right now. Some parish organizations who were expected to have a voice to vote because of whom they would support will not be allowed to vote, and the organizations that will vote in favor of the current president are suddenly granted permission to vote. Currently, there are at least 2 lawsuits to prevent this election from being held. And as I mentioned, it should be chaotic if this election or farce is allowed to be held. All members of the Jamaica Football Federation should resign and a new set of people take over, because if this is not done, then FIFA needs to step in and take over like what happened in other countries until sports-loving people who wants to see Jamaica football go forward be put in place. Meanwhile, Cavalier have moved one place up to third in the Jamaica Ray and Nephew Premier League table following a 2-1 win over Humble Lions in their rescheduled encounter on Wednesday at the Stadium East Field. Godale Irving in the 7th minute and Shanil Thomas in the 20th were on target for the former champions, who were recording their 5th consecutive victory. Humble Lions got their consolation courtesy of an own goal by Irving. The win took Cavaliers to 27 points and in third place, which is one behind leaders Mount Pleasant and the same as second place Portmore United, while Harborview blank Dunbeholden 2-0 in the second game of the doubleheader at the same venue. Harborview are now in 9th place on 15 points, while Dunbeholden stayed 6th on 21. And don't forget that the best news and sports takes place on this station. If you ever miss the news on this radio station, please go to YouTube, type in Jamaican Undiluted News, listen, like, share, and subscribe to keep it going. That's news and sports on your favorite radio station. My name is Mikey Bones. I gone.